Thank you very much, Chairman. And Deputies and Senators, thank you very much for the invitation to meet with you today and to brief you on the work of Dóchas and the key priorities and challenges facing the sector at the moment. Dóchas is a network of 55 international development and humanitarian organisations who are committed to human rights, justice and the eradication of poverty, and they demonstrate this through their work in international development, healthcare protection, humanitarian assistance, education and inclusion. Right now, global needs and extreme poverty are escalating and increasingly concentrated in countries where we see a convergence of conflict and climate change. At the very moment these needs are rising, international donor funding is sharply declining, forcing difficult choices about who receives assistance. Today, more than 300 million people are in need of humanitarian assistance and protection, and a record 120 million people are displaced. 1 in every 5 children in the world, that's approximately 400 million children, are living in or fleeing conflict zones, with women and girls bearing the brunt of violence, displacement and health emergencies. With global temperatures expected to remain at or near record levels over the next 5 years, the impact of climate change on livelihoods and food systems and its contribution to vulnerabilities globally is increasingly apparent. As the world faces growing hunger, violence and death by preventable illness, aid programmes are being dismantled. In 2024, the world faced a $25 billion gap between funds required for UN appeals and funds received. This gap is now set to more than double, and its impact on affected populations will be devastating. This comes at a time when progress towards the Sustainable Development Goals is critically off track, with only 17% of SDG targets on course to be met. Ireland has maintained a principled stance, developing a remarkable international standing underpinned by its values of peace, humanitarianism, equality and justice. It has delivered quality funding where it's needed most and has a strong legacy as a valued partner. The role of development cooperation and humanitarian assistance as an expression of Ireland's values on the global stage has never been more important. Research shows that the vast majority of Irish people, 3 in 4, support the Irish government spending on ODA, a figure that has been consistent every year for the past 5 years. However, our values must be matched by our commitments and our ability to deliver on them. Therefore, we ask that Ireland uphold its commitment to the furthest behind around the world and continue to increase ODA spent overseas in Budget 2026 and realise our target of 0.7% of GNI on ODA by 2030. We encourage the Government to work more closely with civil society organisations who are on the ground delivering effective community-led solutions and commit to at least 30% of Ireland's ODA through civil society. And we also ask that we increase our commitment to climate finance. Ireland will likely hit our target of 225 million annually this year, and we can go further by increasing our finance to a minimum fair share of 500 million annually. Finally, in an increasingly volatile world, Ireland has the opportunity to be a strong, principled voice that elevates human rights, brings solidarity back and justice back on the agenda, and works with like-minded countries to seek transformative solutions to address the multiplicity of challenges that are facing now the international community. Ireland's participation in the UN International Conference on Financing for Development at the end of this month, the G20 and its presidency of the European Council next year presents opportunities to reframe the sustainability agenda, moving away from international development and humanitarian aid as a charitable cause, but rather advocate for its retention as a strategic investment in present and future generations, global stability and prosperity, and ultimately peace and security for all.